What is going on, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the world of Palia. I am going to teach you today 10 little tips and tricks that maybe you didn't find out right away, and these things are actually going to help you out in your gameplay in the early days and maybe help you from avoiding a mistake like breaking that brand new pickaxe you just made. So first up on the tip list is going to be upgrade your tools. This is all about your tools. So when you come in here and you go to craft your items, you can see here in the tools section, you can get standard tools once you've unlocked them by progressing your skill level and talking to the appropriate NPC that involves that skill. So you can see it actually upgrades the skill. So, or the tool. So you would upgrade your makeshift into the standard. Same with anything going forward, like your standard rod, your standard bow, and going all the way up to your iron. So we can see here, I actually have a upgrade for the standard ready to craft because I haven't finished that yet. So you can just hit that here. And the great thing about upgrading your tools is, one, it fully repairs durability. Okay, so now I've got a fully durable standard fishing pole. So speaking about durability, your tools can break. Your standard tools cannot. But if I use this standard pickaxe and it goes all the way down and breaks, it will then revert into a standard tool. So tip 1.5 is head to town and find yourself at the smithery over here where Sifu works, and here you can repair your tools. You can also repair your tools at home if you build yourself a repair anvil. However, it does cost 10 copper bars, and in the early stages, that's probably not going to be in your budget. So I do suggest coming down here, and when you come up to repair tools, you can see for all of my tools, or for say just one, it would require 17 gold to repair them, or 8 repair kits. You can make repair kits at your home. They cost 1 copper bar for 20 of them, or 1 iron bar for I think 40 of them, and you just have to unlock that progressively. I suggest in the beginning, save your copper until you don't really have much of a need for copper anymore. Same with the iron when you get to that level, and just use gold to repair it. It's pretty cheap, and you can make that money back a lot faster than you would, say, be able to make yourself a copper or iron bar. And we can see here, if you went to purchase that iron bar or that copper bar to make 20 of those, it would have cost me 80. So just the value alone is worth more. Even the value to sell a copper bar was 21. So for what I needed, you know, it still works out. So yeah, definitely repair your tools and do not let them break. The next item to touch upon in tip number 2 is to spend your renown. So you're going to see as you talk to villagers, you're going to gain renown from doing quests, just performing general actions, doing cool stuff. And there is a cap at 1,000, so you do not need to hoard this. Now there's 3 decent ways to spend your renown. The first one is, and I don't really suggest this until you really max out your house space. However, see, I got 5 renown there just from chatting with her for the day. So if we go to the store here, you can buy town writs, and this will allow you to expand your housing space, which means your placeable area around your house, so you can build more things. So definitely really good once you get a little later in, but you're not going to need that right away. Where you do want to spend all of these goodies, the first place to spend your renown is at the Phoenix Shrine right here on the map. This is where you started off, so I figured I'd show you the walking path in just in case you forget, because a lot of people miss this step, and honestly, it's part of your quest line, and I didn't come here for probably 8 to 10 in-game hours before I even like made my way this way. So instead of going that way where quest takes you, no spoilers, you just come back this way, and you'll recall that this is where you start in the game when you just kind of phase into the world as a nice little human through the void. So here's the Phoenix Shrine, beautiful creature. Come on up here, and if you hit commune for 100, I'll do it now. You can see my bonus focus has increased to 45%. So every time you spend 100 here, it's going to go up by 5%. So I'm not going to be able to do it the next one because I don't have 100. However, you can see here when I hover over this now, my max focus is 400 and my focus bonus is 45%. That means I'm going to gain 45% more XP when I have focus in my bar while doing activities. So that's part of tip number 2 here, is always make sure you have your focus up and you upgrade that bonus. I believe the bonus is more important than your max renown, However, to get your max renown up, and why you should do that, you should go here. This is the Dragon Shrine, and this is where you can go in Magi's Hollow here in order to increase your max renown. That's why I have 400 instead of the 200 you start with. I don't have enough renown at the moment to show you, but when you do that, you'll gain 100 renown. And I definitely suggest at least getting it to say 300, if not 400, and then focus all your stuff on bonuses after that, because there are some foods in here, and we'll get into foods later, where you can get 150 focus out of like this food, but also other foods will have 200 plus focus gain. And you don't want to lose focus by eating that food by having your max cap set too small. Number 3 on the list is farming. This is probably this is the hardest skill to level up because it's so time dependent, and you only gain experience when you harvest the crop. So you can see here, just a quick thing on farming, every crop has a special bonus to it, and that affects the 4 quadrants around it. So the north, east, south, and west. It does not hit diagonal, so it only hits the 4. But you can see here, I get a harvest bonus from stuff, quality bonuses. So you pay attention to your fruit, your seeds, to see what they give you and plan appropriately. But don't be too anal about it. I mean, it's just farming. However, the main thing you want to do with farming is every day at 6 a.m. is when your crops tick over. They don't grow during the day at all until 6 a.m. where it all happens. So if you make sure to come back to your house at nighttime, always water your crops, even if it's 5:30 in the morning, you will still get the most benefit from that. And also pick your damn weeds, people. Come on, have a clean farm, okay? But so you're going to want to start farming as soon as you're able to. And to start farming, you talk to a man on the map here. No map available. It's this man here, Badaru. He is your farming best friend. So one, get his relationships up. We'll talk about relations in a little bit, but definitely start talking to him. He will sell you more plots. So if you want to make a bigger farm like I have here, you can. Another quick tip is, some people don't realize this, but you have a little pond just right here, right outside your house. There's water over there, and I think there's like water somewhere else really far away. Just come to your little tiny pond here. Don't be silly. Just come here and fill up your watering can until you get some other measures for that. However, then you're going to come in here. You're going to harvest up everything that you've got. Everything just looks beautiful. Those aren't ready, but these are. And then I'll get back to farming later. So my goal is to pretty much always have this full. And then by 6 a.m. I try to water my crops, unless I was just out doing something for the day. So that way I can level up my skill. You can see I'm only level 2, and you only gain the experience while you harvest the crop. So if you're playing with a group of people, it could be beneficial to designate one person as your farmer, and then they come to your house and harvest your crops, and you can give them the edit rights to that. So definitely start working on farming now. Tip number 4 brings us into the house and using a lot of these crops here, but we'll start out here with the campfire. It's to cook your damn food. So this is what gives you focus. So you can see you get 50 focus for grilled mushrooms, oysters, grilled meat, and fish. Mushrooms or oysters are actually 55. And then you can also get quality out of it too. So grill your food, have focus. Do not do anything without focus. It does not benefit you at all. You always want to be gaining that extra XP. And food is super easy to come by. Mushrooms I would suggest to save, but for the beginning you could use some meat or some fish if you're out fishing and do that. But once you start cooking a bit and you talk to our friend over here, his name is like Reth. Where is he? Where are you? There he is. Reth. He's the town cook. He'll give you new recipes as well as some quests, so get your relationships up with him. Again, we'll talk about relations later. But cooking is super great. Bonus tip on cooking, you can do this with friends and everybody gains the experience and the meal. There's no detriment to having other people doing this with you, okay? So everyone would gain. If I made hearty vegetable soup, I'll hit make here. I'll just put in I'll put in an onion. You can select what vegetable you want, and then you need a spice, which is either going to be sweet leaf or like some other spice sprouts, or there are some other things as well. And then a mushroom. So this is why I save my mushrooms. And then I just hit make. You have 60 seconds to cook this food, okay? So I put the ingredients in here. If I had a friend here, which I don't, I'd have them come over to the prep station and they could add in a mushroom. So they would come in here, add a mushroom, and then you get a cute little mini game in here. Chop, 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 chop. Perfect. And then you could have a third friend come up here in this recipe and then stir the bowl. And then all three of you for this one recipe would gain some experience, because you gain the experience when you pick it up from the stove, collect. You can see I actually just gained some experience over there. Now I'm level 3 cooking, and we gained our soup. So that's a recipe where you can work on with 3 people. As you level up your cooking more, you'll gain more recipes to use that have more ingredients. As you can see here, this bacon stuffed mushroom recipe I have requires mushrooms, butter, meat, tomato, and some spiced garlic sprouts. And it requires 3 prep station activities, the oven, which I don't have, but we can get, and then a stove to do it all. So that's probably at least 5 or 6, maybe even 7 different people that could work on one recipe. All of you gain the experience. All of you can contribute items or an action, gain the XP, and get the food. So if you've got friends, unlike me, hit like down below, subscribe so you can be my friend, please. And they come in here together. You can all cook. You can all gain food. You can all gain experience. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Cook your food. Make some friends. Number 5, let's talk about some crafting, but specifically, let's talk about time within this game. The first mention of time that we talked about was in-game time, where the farms will tick over the next day at 6 a.m. So that's when crops will grow. That's when crops require rewatering, etc. So there's in-game time, and then there's real time. So for instance, if I come over to this make a seed, and I take this carrot that I have here, you can see here, now it'll take 18 real minutes to make carrot seeds, 4 carrot seeds from 1 carrot, okay? So this is real-time crafting. So all crafting is done in real time, whereas things like farming is done at 6 a.m. Same thing with your bins here. If you want to sell something, like these, for instance, to get my 2 gold, the next shipment's in 17 minutes. That 17 minutes is real time. The game cycle is 24 hours, is 30 minutes of real time. However, what that equates to is at 6 a.m. in-game and 6 p.m. in-game, your items will sell from your bin. So those are examples of in-game time mechanics. Now, all crafting is done with real-time mechanics. So if I come over here, see I got some iron here cooking. I can take all this copper ore I just found, throw it in here, and you can see each bar is going to take 3 minutes to complete, and it's going to use 5 copper. So if I went back over here, I probably got, put that away. I got some rocks here, but I don't really care about that. Let's put some clay in here, right? So if I put some clay in here, take out a bunch because I don't need a lot more of these, but you can see clay, 4 minutes. And then we have a glass thing here, which I am going to make. Glass is 8 minutes, or turning 2 glass into light bulbs would take 20 minutes. All of that is examples of real time, so those will take a real 20 minutes. Now, one thing that gets confusing for people is when you are giving gifts to people, it says weekly gifts. Those are for real time. And when it says you can give a gift to a player once a day, that is also real time. So gifting is real time. The only things that are really in-game mechanics wise are your farming and your shipping bin. Number 6 is talk to your villagers. Speaking of gifts, you can give a gift to your villager friends once every real life day. And they also have weekly wants, which are real weekly time frames. So if we open our relationships tab here, you can see like with Oni, I have a level 2 relationship with them, which I have a quest for to gain some extra things. And you can see there are benefits that you get some sort of key from Oni and this butterfly in a jar thing here. But you can also see, because we're a certain level of friends, I can now see 2 of their weekly wants. So I've given them a common field cricket, and I can now give Oni a garden leaf hopper. So go to your friends every day, talk to them, because that also gives you renown as well as relationship status. Find out what their weekly wants are and give them a gift every single real life day. Every time you do this, you're going to gain some renown, which is very useful. And there's also quests and items and special areas that are locked behind pretty much every character. You can see he has a key, Badru has a key. These bring you into separate little areas that are fantastic. And then some have romance. Looks like you can romance Einar. Maybe we'll love the robot. Everybody needs a little love here. So go around, make your friends, give your gifts. It's super important to progress, and it kind of starts you off with letting you know that by always having you talk to people to learn everything, but it kind of slows down that pacing, and you don't realize how important it is until later. So make friends. That brings us into tip number 7, is go make real friends. Join a community. Get some of your friends together. This is a free game. Everything is better in this game in a group except for bug catching, okay? Everything is better. If you go out and hit a node or a tree, for instance, everyone who hit that node or tree will gain that resource. So if everyone came to my farm right now, I hit that tree once, and then let's say 6 other people hit that tree, and then it finally broke. Every single person that hit that tree is going to gain full XP and full resources. So the best thing you can do is, if you're all starting together, go to everyone's home, everyone run around and hit every item they can once, and then have the owner come back in and then clean up the rest of them afterwards. Everyone's going to gain a bunch of XP. Everyone's going to gain a crap ton of basic items, and you're going to start your game off well. We talked about how useful friends are in cooking as well, because you gain a bunch of bonus XP and crafting goods from cooked food for minimal resources because you're doing it together instead of by yourself. Fishing, there's a bonus if there's a group of you there. And if you are mining, it's super helpful too, because it also saves tool degradation. So you can be out mining even longer. Same with using your axe. And there are also special trees in the world and resources that are called flow, and they are purple. And those actually regenerate health. So unless you have some high level tools, you're not going to be able to do them by yourself, and you're going to need friends. So go make a friend, have fun. This is a community game, and we need to make sure that we're having fun with the community. Speaking of that, bonus tip 6.5, when you go to your friends list here, if you go to requests, you can add requests in here for people to send to you every day. So let's say I wanted, I don't know, let's see, let's just say flow infused wood, right? Like, that's pretty expensive item, but let's see, maybe someone will gift that to me. So I asked for flow infused wood, and then you can also see other people's requests here, like someone wants a green pearl, someone wants some carrots, another person wants some flow infused wood. You can see from your friends, from your community. Right now I'm in Canzalon's community, so we can see the community members online right here. These are some people in the server. So, oh, Phelan's online. What's going on, girl? So make sure you are making your request daily as well, because it's free items. You want to get items, and it can help you out, especially in the early game when you don't have access to certain things, or you just need a little extra. And people are likely to gift it to you because they gain renown from it, and it's also part of the main quest. You can see up here, improve your generosity in the upper right, fulfill 5 player requests. So people are incentivized to help you, and you're incentivized to help others. Be friendly, make a nice community. Tip number 8 and 9 kind of go hand in hand. However, it is always have your consumables with you when you go out hunting. I don't care if you're going fishing, bring bug bombs with you. For instance, I'm actually out of bug bombs right now, so I need to make some sneaky bug bombs. However, when I leave, I don't leave without at least a stack of arrows and a stack of bombs, and I usually make sure it's a max stack of 100 of each just to have them so I don't run low, because you never know what you're going to find out there. There are certain bugs and creatures that are specific to harvesting nodes. So if you're out mining, you might find what's called a proud Hercules bug, I think it's called. Hold on, I actually have one in my inventory here. One of these right here. A proud horned stag beetle. They're only worth 56, but that's a pretty good schmeckle right there. Those will pop out of rock nodes after you mine them. And there's also other more rare versions of these that can come out of rock nodes, as well as trees, as well as when you harvest a mushroom or a flower, anything. And there's also rare bugs just out in the world. So the biggest thing I say is never leave without your smoke bombs. And I'll also say, don't leave without some arrows as well. Like you can actually see I'm out of arrows because I did a big hunting trip before this. So I want to make a few, but don't leave without arrows as well, because there are also special creatures out in the world. Maybe they're elder creatures, or maybe there's some flow infused creatures where you need to knock them down to gain some special items. So never leave without your consumables. You'll regret it, and I'm stopping you now, hopefully that you don't regret missing out on a super rare bug that you may need, which brings us to tip number 9? Oh my god, we're already on 9, people. Is save your rare bugs and fish. So for one cool thing you can see, I've just got a mess in here, but when you get quality items, which has that star here, a fish for instance, you can place these in your house. This is an extra, so I don't actually need this, but you can place them in your house and use them as decoration. So I'm gonna start collecting every type of item and putting them in my house and have like a terrarium and an aquarium set up. And I've also got all the chests I found in the world in here too. This is just more of a drop pod for me at the moment. We'll work on making it pretty later. But there's also a second reason to save your rare bugs, your non-quality ones, because there's actually like a donation of rare goods in this game, similar to if you've played Stardew, over to the community center. And I'll show you what these bundle packs are right now. Bonus tip for all of you still paying attention: harvest your flowers at nighttime here. Bonus tip 9.5. Come, like, you can see how far away that is, and it's so much easier to see, especially for your moss. Moss is a lot harder to find, and actually that's an uncommon bug here. So this is why we always have our pouches on us. I told you. This is why you do it. You can see there's actually a quality stink bug next to me too. I don't care about it. I've got a stink bug at home, and it's not enough money for me to care. Thank you. This here is a fire-breathing dragonfly. We can see this is worth 125 schmeckles. So it's always why you want to be paying attention while you're running around. And you can see like all these things glowing. That's the bonus tip there, is if you're looking specifically for inventoried items like this, especially the emerald carpet moss, those are so much harder to find during the day because they're very flat to the ground. And they do glow, however, the glow is shadowed by the sun. So if you're just out here running around at nighttime, these are a lot easier to find. So I'll sometimes do hunting at nighttime. The bug catching is a lot harder at nighttime. You'll definitely see the common bugs, or the proud bugs, or whatever, the quality ones, but you're not going to see them very easily. So I don't suggest hunting at night, but in-game items like the craftables, super good. So here's the Night Sky Temple. I'll show you the map when we go back outside. But as you progress the main quest, you're going to unlock these different packs here. And these are little bundles. So you can see here in this corner, we got the spooky bundle. I need to put a garden mantis in, a vampire crab. And it even tells you nothing to see here, just your garden variety mantis found around the lake in Kalima. Also has a chance to be found when foraging around the lake in Kalima. So this is why you always have your stuff. A mutated angler, a void ray. These are more rare items. Then we can see when we come up to here, green pearl, striped shell snail, blue marlin, sushi, giant goldfish, some poop, a trout dinner, inky dragonfly. And then a fisherman's brew, enchanted pupfish, a shimmerfin, and a long-nosed unicorn fish. So it tells you where to go. You know, found off the coast of Bahari Bay using glowworms during the day. Super valuable fish, probably pretty rare to find. So complete these. I don't know what happens yet, but this is why you want to save some of your rare finds for these packs, because there's going to be 3 more after this. It looks like this is the pack of the fish. Then we've got a pack of, I don't know, the fox, the two-tailed fox. And then we've got a dove and the golem. So don't hold back. Make sure you get yourself some good items. Save your bugs, you know, just one of each, just in case they come up. Then you'll have them. You don't have to go spend an extra time out there. And then last and not least, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, tip number 10 is the most important of all. I'm glad you made it here to tip 10. If you did, make sure to comment down below, letting me know what you thought of the tips and if they were helpful. But tip number 10, have fun. This is such a fun, charming game. It's cozy. You can be sweaty about it. You can min-max a bunch of things, however, you don't need to. The game cycles are pretty fast for the day. You can get a lot done in a day. And there's really no detriment to going slow. It's just having fun on your own and just having a great time. So make sure to take the game at your place, make some friends, find a good community. If you're looking for one, leave a comment down below. We'll probably start a ShabbyDoo community as well for everyone playing Palia, so that way we can help each other out, maybe do some fun fishing events together. We'll also be streaming Palia on Mondays and Tuesdays around 6:30, 7:30 Eastern time, just depends on how the day goes. But otherwise, brothers and sisters, I hope you're enjoying Palia. We'll have more Palia content coming soon. And until next time, I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.